Snortius I, ruler of the Empire of Snartopia, from his seat of power in the great metropolis of Snartantinople, gazed down upon the greatest threat to his people. 4 Humies. Only 4. 3 shooters, 1 burner. But as the Humies annihilated the nest of giant bugs, the ancient enemies of Snartopia dating back to the dawn of the Empire, which was about a week and a half ago, Snortius saw them, and he knew he needed to come up with a plan. The Humies had weapons and armor the likes of which the Snots had never seen. Snortius looked at his assembled crew. Not enough. Not enough to fight the Humies. No weapons that could hit from far away to match the shooters. No. Snortius needed a plan, and the wheels in his enlarged, mutated brain began to turn. Back to Snartantinople. We need the tribe. We need everyone. Oh, we need a plan. Stinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain, but if we painted the walls of Snartantinople purple, wouldn't we keep running into them?
Shut it, Stinky, I'm trying to think. Snortius's mind continued to turn as he and the other greenskins ran back to the raft they had been riding down the river. Fortunately, they hadn't made it very far before they saw the rising smoke from the Humies, so the walk back would be relatively short. The greenskins quickly hid the small raft among some reeds along the river and made it back to Snartantinople double time. The younger, tinier snotlings were falling all over themselves trying to keep up with the larger greenskins. As he returned, many eyes watched Snortius with confusion. Was he back so soon from his glorious adventure into the unknown? No. This time the very existence of Snartantinople was threatened. Where's Pegleg? Does he got them attilators, them stick-throwing sticks ready? Pegleg had indeed been constructing atlatls for some time now, and he had a number of prototypes constructed. The Grotling boss wanted to test this stick out for himself. A mud target was quickly erected a good 20 paces away. Snortius notched one of the spears into the device and flung it as hard as he could, which was very much far too hard. The spear sailed above the mud-sculpted target. There was a thud and a shriek as Snortius had accidentally pinned a snotling by the ear to one of the many huts in Snartantinople. Oh, this stuff throws far. I like it. Make as many as you can. Snortius grabbed his atlatl and was suddenly struck with an idea. He rushed off to the mushroom mound, which was now many mushroom mounds that the squig farmers had been cultivating in different piles. Snortius knew what he was looking for. He sniffed the mushrooms and let his nose lead him to what he wanted. The nastiest, most poisonous mushroom he could find. And then he coated the tip of his atlatl spears very carefully. Snortius made sure the others carried this mighty weapon as well. Stinky, Da Brain, Snortbow, Tree Climber, Redshirt 2, Punchin' Bag, and Steve were all given these mighty armaments. A few of the lesser snotlings also carried slings to hurl fist-sized rocks, though they were not nearly as deadly as the throwing sticks. Now it was the time for Snartantinople to march. The mighty gates of Snartantinople swung open. Snortius stood at the head of the vanguard with his attack squig Pogchomp and his other greenskin compatriots. At his right hand, there stood his long-time loyal Snots, Tree Climber, Snot Bow. And then at his left, the newly sprouted Gretchen, Stinky and Dabrain. Behind them were rank upon rank of snotlings, 55 snots strong, each armed with tiny stone blades or bug mandibles or pointy sticks. Some wore armor out of chitin or hide. A few wore skull buckets made from shells or skulls. All marched in Snortius's name. As they sallied forth, Snortius knew exactly where he would go. To the cave. To the place where the great monster slept. Snortius had consulted with Dabrain, Tree Climber, and Snotbow about this. Stinky was very much left out of the planning stages. This would be a most cunning ambush. They journeyed to the rocky place, the dwelling place of the terrible monster that Snortius himself had only heard but never seen. The snotlings were all arranged in a circle around the outside of the rocky clearing, hidden in the woods, in the center of which was a huge and terrible cave where the creature slept. All Snortius had to do now was set a fire. It was his hope that this would lure the Humies in and draw the monster out. If he was lucky, very lucky, the creature would do almost all of the fighting for him. He lights the fire, the creature wakes up, the Humies come in, and all they had to do was mop up afterwards. Now, all he had to do was set the fire and hope the thing didn't burst out and crush the great Snot-Leater between his toes. Or claws. The Snortius wasn't really sure which. But the stage was set, and the only thing left to do was spring the trap, and either bring eternal glory to Snortius's reign, or humiliating defeat. Snortius prayed to Mork for the first bit. No man do they call me, my mother and my father, and all my comrades as well. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Growing the Tribe. If you liked what you heard, please leave a like and comment, as that helps strengthen the eternal legacy of Snortius I. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe so you can hear more stories about growing a WA from the ground up. If you would like to support me, you can do so via Patreon or PayPal. Both of those will be linked below. And if you have no idea what's going on, you can click on the Growing the Tribe playlist, which should be appearing on screen right now. Thank you all once again for listening. No Man out.